So, you have to look over here, too, look at yourself and say, do I really need to have my hair be red? When I go on a job interview. And I'm not, please, don't take offense, I'm just being straight, right? So it's like, you gotta look at the mirror and see, look at the norm and look in the mirror, and if everybody's swimming this way, why are you swimming this way? You want to be different? For what? 99% of the people are going this way and you're coming this way. So you gotta also ride with the flow. And even if there are limitations because of your skin, people aren't going to look at those for that reason. They're going to overlook that because of who you are, but you bring to the table your intelligence and your insideness, your attitude. So I was never told that I had limitations. I just took it, and then, and I put myself through school. I did whatever I had to do to get where I want to, I want to be. So, and just in case some of you guys had a question, I am single, tall, dark, handsome.
Thank you, Lavina. All right, we're going to do 3 more questions. This next question is, thank you, to Molly from Walden. And actually, many of these questions, are really asking how do I contact you, how do, just more people seeking information on how to connect with you and build a network with you. But this is Molly, it says, Molly from Walden. What is your business number at Walden? And how can Walden students contact you? Gonna put you on blast.
Walden's online. Walden has a website. Google Walden, and you will come up with our webpage, and you will have the connections of how to contact an enrollment advisor who can give you information about what programs are out there and how we can best structure a program to meet your needs and support you as you go through this. There it is.
Awesome. This one is for Arlene. Part of my challenge is being a jack of all trades but master of none. Sound like anybody else in here? What techniques could any of our panelists recommend for effectively identifying, isolating, and tackling one's true passion and purpose? I want to avoid choosing a field based solely on pay and job security.
Great question. I often say that if you can go to your job, to your work, and know that you would do it if you had to for free, then you have the greatest blessing of all. That to find your passion, really think about what you love doing. I'll tell you a very quick story. My father, when I was going to college and choosing a major, I chose teaching. He said, I hate statistics, and you have to teach statistics to be a teacher. And he said, forget that. He said, you go to college once, study something that you really love, and you will find something to do that incorporates and embraces that which you love. So really do a self-inventory. I would say, do a self-inventory. Write down the things that you really love, things that you really love doing, the things that people say you're great at, even if it's doing hair or cooking you'll be surprised how any of those things can translate into a multi-million-dollar career for yourself. Think about what you love and pursue that. Be laser focused on pursuing that.
Awesome, thank you.
And I want to add something, because actually I went from corporate America to nonprofit, down to academia. And I love what you said, and it was, looking at what my passion was to make a difference and impact the world and cultivate leaders. And it didn't look like teaching college. So the other thing is to be flexible, right? Just, so if you like hair, and maybe it's not necessarily having a hair salon, maybe it's in a different facet. So being open and being flexible, because putting it out there, God might have a different plan instead of the plan that you have. And I will also recommend this book called The Pathfinder by Nick Lore, L-O-R-E. It's a great book. It really has you to delve in a different way than other career-looking books do. So I really recommend that. Once again, that's The Pathfinder. Okay?
Thank you. Dr. Rona, this one is to you. It says, blessings unto you first and your baby. How strong is strong? When you found out about your baby, did you have to be And how can you teach others to be strong?
That's a very, very, very good question. And I'll start off by saying this. Every morning on the African savannah, a gazelle wakes up. It knows that it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. On the same savannah every morning, a lion wakes up. It knows that it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun gets up, you better be running. African proverb, sitting in a hospital bed with my daughter who had just been diagnosed with cancer. 2 weeks earlier, she had undergone surgery to biopsy that tumor that was present on her kidney. Chemotherapy report was put into her chest, and she was laying next to me in a hospital bed with the first of many, many fevers. I was terrified. My own legs told me to run as fast as I could, but see, there hung a dilemma. Do I run alone, or do I take her with me? See, if I ran alone, could I bear to think what's going to happen to her if I wasn't there to take care of her? If I took her with me, she wouldn't get proper medical care because I would run and hide. So I prayed. And I prayed, and thank goodness my faith stood out in front of me and told my legs to stand down because my running couldn't help her. You see, the sun had just broken into dawn, and she was now in that race. She was running for her life. And so what did I do? I said, you know what, these doctors and these nurses, and yes, I do have a PhD and I'm a doctor too. So, I know I'm a master teacher. I am. But I had to become an exceptional student. And I had to become an exceptional student in the hands of those doctors. And they taught me about things like vincristine, doxorubicin, carboplatin, cytoxin, Ativan, and Neupogen. These are all drugs for cancer drugs. They taught me what 101 degrees Fahrenheit does in the body that somebody who's going to chemotherapy. They taught me about home infusion therapy. They taught me about Neupogen. They taught me that a protocol, which is when you're on cancer, requires enormous patience and flexibility. They taught me that I can do everything for my daughter because guess what? She was from me and I am her mother. So that's what you have to do. Whenever something is in front of you, stop, drop, and roll. And like what my grandmother said, don't head like a hat. You have brains of a major head. Use it. So you have to become that student and just engulf yourself with everything. Listen with your ears, know with your brain, see with your eyes, feel with your hands, and make sure that your heart is involved in the whole thing. Because your child is you. And anything that happened to her happened to me. And also to your friends. Let me tell you something, I can do this without an enormous, powerful group of friends. And a lot of them are sitting right over there at number 21. So that's how I tackle this. And awesome. Thank you.
I have one final question. Has this not been an amazing evening? Amazing women. And ladies, I just personally want to say thank you, and I just love doing this because I receive, all that you are sharing, and I have received so much, and that helps to strengthen me as a woman as well, because people look at me and think, oh, I got it going on, I'm the national spokesperson, but underneath it all, I cry at night, and to hear other women, share your stories, successful women who are not too bold, or too prideful to really share what has gone on with their lives. I hope it's empowering you and it's encouraging you, and those who maybe came tonight just sort of seeking a word or an idea, that I hope that you leave with something that's going to help you move to the next level in your life. This last question I'm going to ask each of our panelists, ladies, if you could take 1 minute. Okay, 1 minute, because I think it's, what's great is we have so many different perspectives because everybody comes from different backgrounds. So I always like to pose one question so we can get a well-rounded, perspective on this question. So the question is, I'm starting with you, Dr. Sherry. How did you combat the fear of failure? 1 minute.